Hindi mag-isaya lang.
Actually, she's a good friend si Miss Fernanda.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us on a Friday. I'm Jobert Octal, the online editor of The Freeman, and welcome to Power Women, our tribute to women who are not afraid to make a difference. And we are now on season 2. And we have today 3 accomplished women who will share their successes as well as their overcoming of challenges today. And we hope that they will serve as an inspiration to their fellow women as well as the young girls who aim to be like them in the future. Joining us in the pilot episode of season 2 of Power Women are Dr. Cheryl Diaz-Muli.
Hello.
She is an educator and a psychologist, and just to mention, she topped the 2018 Psychologist Board Licensure Examination. Congratulations. This is a belated congratulations.
Thank you. I was
Also,
supposed to be here in the other.
Yes, actually, yeah, but now you're finally here.
Yes, thank you.
And also in the panel is Public Relations and Marketing Specialist. What are you now, the head?
Yes,
The head of
local marketing
of Southwestern University FINMA, Precious Heredura. Thank you, Precious, for being here. And of course, we are very lucky to have it. We're able to bring her out of the College of Law of the University of the Visayas. She is, of course, the Assistant Dean of the College of Law and also an instructor there, lawyer. Darlene, what's your
Chermith,
Chermith, yeah. Pero you're to many you are called Archie. Yes.
You know that.
Wagas, yes, but Archie Wagas. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting
And happy Women's Month.
Yes.
This is actually the reason why we are having this project, so we can invite successful and inspiring women.
Oh, pressure.
Of course, you are number 6 in the licensure examination. Precious just finished her Spark program very successfully this year, and Darling just launched the 100th year anniversary of UV.
Yeah.
You're heading the committee, correct?
Yeah, one of the
members of the committee.
Yes.
Okay, so those projects alone, you are already very successful. So thank you very much for joining us. My first question, I think, will have to be, how does it feel to be very successful in your fields?
Who would want to answer? I think that's so very hard to answer, Jobert.
Yeah,
But
by the way,
how
Dr. Muli is also an instructor at the University of San Carlos, Psychology Department. Okay.
Success in the field.
I might as well rephrase my question.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself successful? Kanina lang, kaya we're deciphering a question.
Yeah.
At this point in your lives, with everything you have achieved, is this what success really is for you?
If you mean success in achieving what I want to achieve, in the profession, yes. Because I'm done with my PhD, I
Right.
passed the board exam. But another success measure for me would be the changes in the society that I have been advocating, especially in mental health. So I am maybe halfway there, not yet fully successful in that sense.
But the group that you started, Kauban,
Kauban is now more than a year, and
Yeah.
we have been serving the community. This is a mental health support group for people with depression, anxiety, and those who have manifest suicide ideation. And yes, many have sought assistance, and we are actually celebrating its first year anniversary come March 29. And you are invited, so
Yes,
nagplano na
happy
po.
anniversary.
Thank you.
So, more to come and more to go
More to
forward.
come, more to go, and I don't know if I'm quite busy with other advocacies like HIV, and now I'm entering into a parenting seminar. So we recently made partnership with the church that we will be part of the pre-K and give seminar to the incoming parents.
Yeah, okay. Precious, what about you?
I think success is, you can't really treat of it as a whole, like, okay, I'm successful already. I like to look at it as a step-by-step process. You mentioned Spark Summit.
Yes.
So after Spark Summit, you kind of bask on its success for a while and think of something else to do. I think the struggle for me all the time is, I was very active in college. And, as a mass comm student, when I graduate, I'm gonna change the world. So it kind of hits you when you end up in a corporate job. But I like it that I'm able to do both. I'm able to keep a job and feed myself, and also be able to give back to the community by being part of the education sector.
Right.
So I look at it as a daily struggle. At the end of the day, success ba or dili, and then tomorrow na po, a different kind of success. So it's really the little things, and there are days when you're not very successful.
Yes.
But I think that's okay. You look at all the past successes, and then of course it's a daily battle with yourself, no? Na like, I think I'm not doing very well in this, dili kay ko maayo in this one. But the next day you try to do well and say, okay, successful na ako. Or that if I'm not successful today, I'll just look at all my past successes, okay na to siya. And then the next day na po, we'll do better. So I think I look at it in that way, not as a whole. Because sometimes what you want to do now is what you want to do, not what you want to do the next time.
Yeah.
So it's different successes at every point of your life.
Yeah. I remember these words from J.K. Rowling. She said it's inevitable not to fail in life.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for you, you measure success on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
Well, you can still change the world one day at a time.
One student at a time.
One student at a time. That's right. Okay, Darling.
Yes, I'm the type of person which actually sets a timeline. For me,
Oh, very cool. See?
no, not really. When I was in college, I told myself, okay, when I graduate, because I actually finished journalism. So
Yes, yes.
I
I
told
remember
myself,
you were with us.
yes, I was with the Freeman before, and then I told myself, okay, when I graduate journalism, I will be making waves in the media and all that stuff. I will be the great broadcaster of all time and all. And then suddenly, my ambitions shifted, and then
Why?
it's really a story that I really want to tell. My mom really wanted to be a lawyer. It's always her dream to be a lawyer. And then because of her age, according to her, dili naman ko pwede magpakamay kaya sige tag-memorize anong balaod. It's the thinking of the people who actually studies law. Pero pag ingon niya, sige mag-law school man ang kakay. Bata, I graduated from college when I was 19. So I started in law school at 19. So nayon ko sa myself, dapat ini 25 na ako kay lawyer na dito. Ngayon na ako.
Yeah.
So that's how I actually see success. So when I finished law school at 24, ko, okay na niya siya. Pero kailangan ini 25 kay lawyer na dito ka na siguro successful na ko aning area sa my education. So I became a lawyer at 25, and then nag-set na ko laing na goal before mag-30. So, murag hinay-hinay as a professor of law, na ako'y gamay ko dito ng ambisyon na hopefully succeed ko in every area sa education, because I find kaning teaching a very, very good profession. And nindot kayo siya maka-impart dito ka og knowledge sa students. So, diha, 30 and siguro yung 35 lain na po yung mga vision ninyo na siguro ko different ako ang definition of success. It's I have a timeline na different 5 years old. 5 years.
What happens if you don't meet your timeline or your goals?
I think usa gyud sa mga nakanindot nga traits sa mga babae is kung mo-fail siya ani nga goal, dali na siyang mubangon, and then mukha na siya, okay, dili dyan para sa ako, okay, God has actually set something better pa ani nga plan for me. So, yan na akong pag-face sa ako ang kanang goal ko, mo-fail ko, napailain mas maayo. So, okay na, dili ka wag-mukmuk, you have to stand up. And,
Resilience.
yeah, that's resilience. So, sana sa itong mga characters nga I'm really proud of.
Okay. Well, you essentially answered my next question. So my next question actually is, did you ever want to be a psychologist? Did you ever want to be, did you see yourself being in the corporate sector? You studied journalism and mass comm.
Yeah. No. No eh. I believe in timing. It was the time, I actually came at Southwestern when FINMA came in, when FINMA acquired the SWU. So, I already resigned my previous job, and I said, I'm gonna go home for a while, because right after graduation, I looked for a job right away.
And you went into public
Yeah,
relations,
nag-status ko
right?
sa Facebook, I'm bored, can someone give me a job? And people will just message na, I have a vacancy here. So I really worked right away. So nag-graduate ko at March, I started working May. I had a little activity April, and then May na yun. So after graduate time ko, I really didn't get to rest. So I said after my previous job, I think I've learned everything that I need to learn here. I'm gonna resign, and then I'm gonna go home and figure out what I want to do next.
Okay.
My sister was studying at SWU, and then ingon siya na, uy, our school was acquired by another company and they're looking for someone in marketing. So, okay, I'm gonna drop by before going home. So they dropped by ko, and ko, can you start next week? We're kind of short. And then, so you know how I believe in working hard to get what you want, but
Yes.
there are also some things that are just given to you seamlessly. Like you didn't plan it, you didn't really want
You're one
it.
of the lucky ones.
Actually, ever since yun. But of course, we find our way to stay.
Right.
We work hard to be able to stay and
Sustainability.
yes, and to deserve our place. Pero for me, I like to say na medyo swertean ko ato na part. It was just given to me. It's like by luck or by destiny na mauna siya imong trabaho. And I can say na as of now, this is something that I want to do. I see myself doing it for the next couple of years. I'm not sure yet where I'd be a couple of years from now. Probably mag-lawsan ko, probably mag-biyasan ko. wala akong kabalo, but mauna siya ang story behind that na ano na ako ani na work now.
Yeah. But did you ever want to be in journalism?
I like writing. Not necessarily journalism, but I really like telling stories. And when I was younger, of course without social media, medyo hina yung internet, you really
Yes.
don't get to research a lot
That's
about
right,
it.
yes.
Unlike now, there are actually a lot of information about all of the college programs that you want to take, di ba? Or if you take up psychology, this is the career path for you, this is what you want to do. Very, very exact. When we were in high school, take up mass communication, story ani, and then kana story lang, ganahan ko ani. Wala ni math. Ganahan
And
ko
how
ani.
wrong we were.
How wrong we were. Dito tarang math.
Doc.
Right. Did I plan to become a psychologist? Very late did I realize that I really want to become a psychologist. I started with the field of education, and then I went to it's education.
It's really education.
And then
okay.
I also took up MA Literature in San Carlos. And when I was about to take the comprehensive exam, there was this one teacher from Indonesia who did not give the grade. So I have to wait for the whole summer. And that's when I was thinking, wait, is it too late for me to shift? Is it too late for me to shift to psychology? And then I remembered back my college days, I was excelling in psychology in that particular subject. So I went to my dear friend, Sister Merced, I don't know if you still remember her, from St. Teresa's College, and then I asked her, is it late for me to pursue another course, English? And then she said, no, it will never be too late to do the right thing. She said that. And then that's when
Very
I
nice
started.
advice, yeah.
So that's when I started to shift. I shift to psychology, MA clinical, and then I finished 2015. In the summer of 2015, I enrolled to PhD clinical psychology in Silliman, and I also finished it also last year. So yes, I really wanted to become a psychologist.
But did you also set deadlines for yourself?
Sorry?
Did you also set deadlines?
Not really. Actually, I was just being in school. Schooling actually became a diversion for me. So diversion in such a way that I will feel that this is the sense, I have a purpose, I have a direction where I'm going to. That's why after I finished my PhD, I said, wait, what will happen now? What will I do now? But definitely I won't go back schooling because it's really tiring to do. I have to write dissertation and all. So I did not set any timeline. As long as I did not miss any, I did not skip any semester or any summer. I just keep on studying and moving forward. Yeah.
Okay, you are definitely successful women. Has gender been an issue to you as far as your careers are concerned? Well, even your journey through life is concerned.
You know what? When you invited us in this session, I wasn't really aware of any difficulty when it comes to gender. Maybe because Most of my life I was in STC, and that school is actually exclusive. No, used to be an exclusive.
time.
Yes, at the time.
STC is St. Teresa's College.
College. No,
For those of you who might not be familiar.
yes. So I spent most of my life there in St. Teresa's College, and so I am surrounded with women, empowered women. And when I went out and transferred to the University of San Carlos, it's still the same. Women and men were given the same privilege, and I really haven't felt any discrimination in terms of gender. So no, for me, that wasn't really any part of the struggle while achieving whatever I want to achieve.
Precious.
Parang same eh. I can't remember the specific moment where I am not allowed to do something just because I am a woman. Maybe in school or maybe at work. Parang the same naman. So I cannot really point out a specific moment. But you know how other people, because you're a woman, you're placed at certain boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're at work and you're doing really well, and you're trying to be really competent, people call you madam, right? And I experienced it since I was in college. And at that time, I did it because I was president of the Mascom Student Council, and everyone just calling me madam. But you know, if men try to be competent, they're not being called certain names because they are. So because you do your best and you excel, you're being put at a certain box na, okay, strong na siya, or si madam, yun na siya. Na if it's men, they're not treated the same way. It's not very inconvenient naman. It's just that when you just think about it, na parang, okay, lagi ang treat sa ako because I'm a woman. Or if you go on maternity leave, right? Ay, woman na iyang career because she's pregnant or she's getting married. You know, it takes two to make a baby. So the guy should also be put at a certain, okay, dapat woman na sa iyang career, papa na siya. So those are mga very small nuances. Parang the Philippines naman, it's not very for gender. So it's parang, I think it's okay. It's just that when you see kasi the struggle of other women and what they have to go through, parang you just feel really bad for them and you feel for them. Pero for me, same, parang no really the discrimination for me at the workplace, even in school before.
Okay.
It's not really an issue ang akong gender, but we were always told in law school sa una na ang babae is outnumbered good with the male-dominated profession and lawyering. And
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is told in law school.
Yes, and we've always thought as female law students na hala, unsaon ka na nato sa courtroom. But when I became a lawyer and I appeared in court, ako nakita na, whoa, most of the lawyers here are actually women. Most of the judges, most of the prosecutors are actually women. And ang men are actually kanini ang naanad na sila sa culture na naanagay babae. And like before, na ang mga professors would always say, oh, kamang mga babae will bibuli ra mo sa mga laki dito sa courtroom. But ang akong na-experience sa practice is lahi because ang men would cheer for you actually. And if you commit a mistake, ang lalaki would be there. The male lawyer na nag-una nimo will be there to actually help you and guide you. Nga mao niyang buhaton. Munang, I think, I'm just very lucky and sa University of the Visayas na most of the deans there, sir, are actually women. And murag, wa ko ka-feel na our gender have become an issue.
Okay. But when you heard about those warnings, so to speak, in law school,
Yes.
did you prepare yourself psychologically, emotionally?
Yes, I did.
When I go out and join the profession?
Yes, I did. Nakagibasa na saan ka ni mo nung stig ka tanawon. I actually
Red lipstick.
came across a quote there na ingon nga, act like a lady and then think like a man. So, kung kato kung permigis gibutang sa una-una, then when I appeared court, mag-slacks yun ko, and blazer, and then the red lipstick, the dark eyebrows and all that stuff, then i-modulate yung voice because pasig ang mga lalaki would go there and just bully you and then ilang pasok ka sa court. But it's on the contrary, lahi na dyan siya. And men nowadays are more respectful than katong gisulti sa among professors.
Maybe in the past, no?
Maybe
It was
in the
really
past.
male-dominated
Yes,
in the
yes,
truest sense of the word.
Yes.
Okay, so in general, in the Philippines at least, there seems to be gender equality
Yes.
or respect
Yeah.
toward a particular gender. What about in your families? How are you raised up? How are you raised?
I'm actually listening to you, no, and then it came across my mind about not really in my family. In the family, I'm the only girl. I have two elder brothers, so wow, no, the power is with them. But but then again, because you're the youngest, you also get to be treated nicely. But what
And you were
really,
the only girl.
I was the
in
only.
the
I am
family.
the only girl. So what really came to my mind while we're talking about this are the clients that I had, especially those women in abusive relationship, and how they feel about the relationship and their partners as being powerful over them.
Yeah.
So maybe lucky for us, no, the three of us who haven't really experienced such discrimination, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yes.
It's still happening, and there are still women who cannot really discriminate whether or not what is being done to them is good or okay.
They don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference
Okay.
yet. They think, especially the thinking that, you know, because babae manggod ko and this is my role as a woman, dapat submissive, dapat mupatuo ko sa akong bana, dapat ako ang muamuma sa akong mga bata, and all this, what do you call this, stereotypical role for women na ang gihapon is still very widely spread among us. Yeah.
How do you think we can address this?
We can address this with after that, no, with this women that I'm working with, we do what do you call this, we have sessions and we do some FGD empowerment, and then telling them, you know, the rights of women, and then also making them or informing them about women's desk and where they can go to, and you know, these are our rights, especially the VAUSI, right? It's there, and they are not really aware that it exists, that they are to be protected. Okay, so education, awareness, talking to them. Yeah.
So your brothers were protective more than being bullies.
Yes,
You.
more than being bullies, and they were very protective that I cannot go out of the terrace, dapat sa sulod lang din ka. because you know, our barcadas are there and all boys, cannot be seen. Okay. Anyway, it was fun growing up with men, no, in the family. But yeah, luckily I haven't felt discrimination.
Precious, did you grow up empowered?
We're
was
very
it in your
different.
family?
We're both girls. There's only two of us. We're both girls. My dad always wanted a boy. So my sister, oh my gosh, it was parang at a certain age, she would be standing up. Because she believes she's a guy. And she would always have toy guns. Sorry to that. So parang I never really experienced a time where my dad told me there is something that we cannot do. It was always something that, whatever you want to do, we're gonna support you. And
Very nice.
my mom is a very strong woman, so I haven't really seen that my dad did anything to her that would not let her speak up or anything. So it's always a very open household where we could always speak our mind. But there are times na mga gender stereotype ba, you cannot go out at a certain time at night. You cannot do this, you cannot do that as women or as girls. So I was at a certain age na, how come I cannot do this? And these things, of course, because I grew up in the province,
Yeah.
it's not something that's very openly discussed.
Yeah.
And then you know how the term "bay mangguga."
Yes.
There are some those small
Right,
things.
right.
Good thing my parents gave me a lot of books to read, and so parang you learn from books and how it's supposed to be done. So that's their way of supporting me po through education yun. Na okay, dapat di ay same di ay ko sa laki, dapat di ay in ani di ay, and I get to learn all of these mga pamahiin lang di ay, or dili pwede. But I was very, very supported by my parents, so it was not very difficult for me to ask them questions later on. Ano di ay dili pwede o inaani. And then of course they would explain. So at home we're very, very supportive. I was not ever told of anything just because I'm a woman. My papa is a military guy. They even asked him, pwede ko mag-military? Yes, nakayugan din ako. So I never felt that there is something I couldn't really do. So again, very, very lucky to
Lucky
be part
you.
of that household.
Absolutely.
same
Early.
sa ako. I actually grew up with two women. My lola.
Right, your lola and your mom. Because,
Yeah. My mom is a single mom, then akong lola sa'yo siya na byuda. So, they practically raised me. And then, I remember ko, there was one afternoon na niulit ko, then naghilak kay gitangtang ko sa speech court competition sa school. And then I really wanted to get the part. Ganahan ko mo appeal niya. Naingon tong akong teacher nga, gamay ka magkaday nga murag ka magsilbi na rin. So ayaw na lang dyan appeal na. So I cried, I really cried so hard. Then yung dagan ko na ito kasi kung lulan na naman siya. Okay rin pangga, she actually calls me pangga siya. Okay rin na siya pangga. Ang imong buhaton is mas maningkamot pa ka. Okay, dili pa na imong panahon ron. So mas maningkamot pa ka. Pero never nilang gipa-feel sa ako ang just because I am so tiny and I'm just a girl na di na nimo pwedeng i-achieve. So silang dagit, akong mommy and akong lola, they were very supportive sa akong gusto nga buhaton sa akong kinabuhi. Even when I actually became a lawyer, me, should I take this case or should I take this or not? Okay na, kaya na lagi na nimo. So they were always there to push me to actually think out of the box. So yeah, like, happy ako. Parihami. We are actually
Yes,
rewarded.
very lucky. Yeah. Based on your observation, how would you describe the woman of the day? Let's be specific. The Cebuana of the day, since we are in Cebu, with our realities here.
I think women of today are really empowered, well-informed, well-informed, and more courageous. But at the same time, they maintain this tenderness, the gentleness, that they're still the source of nurturance from people. So it's a balance between being fierce and being tender, being informed, but at the same time, very also compassionate.
Mm.
So that's how I see women of Cebu. That's how they are. They are not the type na mailad, babaligya.
Yes.
So,
Precious.
Hot Cebuana, nakunap.
oh.
7 years.
It's okay. I'm also half Cebuana.
So hot. Very, very resilient. Bisag kapila pa lang siya mapandol, o madapa, mabangon na gina siya, and will try harder the next time. So I think that's how I look at women in our workplace, especially sa Southwestern. Bahala 5 kabuk ang anak mo, trabaho gihapon, natundid to, burus ga exam, burus ga klase. Okay na gihapon. So marag makathink ka ba na no matter what things you throw their way, they're gonna stand up and they're gonna conquer and they're really gonna succeed yun. So very resilient.
I think women of today, especially sa Cebu, are independent. Independent, parang ako. Kaya I've been reading books ba na in the past, I'm sure kamo sa Doc and Miss, na kanang nakabasa mo na ang women sa una could not even exercise the right to vote.
Right.
Yeah, they cannot actually make
Yes.
decisions on their own without the approval of their husbands.
Yeah. They cannot speak their minds.
Yes, they can speak their minds, di sila ka-eskwela, dili sila even opening a bank account, dili pwede, kung wala assistance sa husband. So, I think karon women are more independent, and this is, I think, because of the efforts made by the preceding generations before us. Munang laki kayo ta. Kay because of their efforts, because sa ilang gipambuhat, naka-benefit ta. And now we're very independent. We're more independent than these women in the past.
Mhm. With this reality now, can you say that the world has made it easier for women in your professions, for example?
Maybe, is it the world, but time changes, no? Time changes, and even when we say that we used to live in a very patriarchal society, it evolves. It evolves because we adapt. We adapt according to what is needed and how to survive. It's not really the world who's making it easy for us, but maybe because it is the call of the times. Like, we really need to exert more, to work hard, because you cannot just live inside our house because, you know, lisod ang kinabuhi. We also need to provide for our family. So our adaptation is the one that's making it more, that's making our role even wider, not to the society. So we adapt, we survive, and that's actually the basic reaction of human beings to the different changes in the society.
Mm-hmm. Learning. What about you?
Kung na what's that na nakamatay.
This is the world making it
Easier
easier
now
for
for
us.
women, yeah.
I don't think the world is easy at all. I mean, whether you be a man or
Or a
a
woman.
woman, murag ang tinabuhi, you have to really work harder para makuha nimo kung sa imong gusto. It is not actually given to you in a silver platter. So I don't think
Precious man yung lalaki.
tungod na. Siya lang yun. Nakakad na siya sa iya. But I think most of us really have to work hard para
Right,
makita kung asa ito ang gusto makton.
Yes. The luckier one.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
No.
Today.
I think it's a different time, different struggle. So before it might be not being able to vote, not being to open a bank account, but it's still the same now when happen. There are certain struggles, but for women, but I agree, it's not easy for everyone. It's difficult for everyone. It's a different time, different struggle. But of course, mo lagi to, nagyang pa expectations of women. You're only supposed to act a certain way. You're only supposed to dress at a certain way. Naaraman gihapon ng kanang ginagay mo
Traditionalist mindset,
Yes,
yes.
naaraman gihapon. So I don't think it's easy at all. But again, women are resilient. We kaya rin gihapon.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of which, in the past, ang mga babae, even men, they marry at a very young age. 19, 20, kung mag-marry ka 25, 30 years, so old already. What about you guys? Did you also set a deadline for that? Because right now, women are actually more open-minded when it comes to these things. Well, our generation, those who get married 40, 35, right? So it's totally different from so many years ago. Does it put a pressure on you, marriage?
Are we all single here?
I was once. Yeah, for me, having a partner is not necessary. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. It only makes life complicated.
Okay, just to put it in proper context though, because naamagod in Philippine society, mingon sila nga kung babae, kung lalaki dili mamiliyo, isang buwang okay ra. Babae, gani kung di ka mamiliyo. Yeah, there seems to be something wrong there.
Yeah.
That's the notion.
So we're saying that time has changed. I don't think that it still apply now. That women don't think that it's a kakulangan.
Yeah.
If, for example, they're still single up to 40 years old, I think women now more enjoy their freedom than really racing into the competition of getting into, marriage and so on. Yeah, they are more freer. They're more free to act on their own, and I think happier being by themselves.
Make their choices.
Yeah. It's not really, it doesn't anymore a requirement not to be in a relationship, that you have to be married, because if not, you are lesser of a woman if you don't. I don't think it exists now.
Yeah, because I remember sa una magod, we have the sister of my lola, kanang dagang ulay ba. So she never got married. She never married. Yung yun ang choice. So naging marag certain identity nga kana siya dalagang ulay na siya. Wala na bitaw ang tanang sa society, but that's no longer the case today.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I know many women who have chosen to be by themselves because they're happier.
Used to be women are measured, the womanhood is measured by the man, with their will. If they are married, it's because you're a fully bloomed woman, but not anymore now. Would you agree?
Yes. Sa una man gud, ang women giingnan nga kailangan jud kang maminyo at a certain age, kay otherwise di na jud ka mahalin, di na jud ka makanta. And then kung maminyo ka ani kanang mas hayahin na imong kinabuhi, kanang imong buhi mo. Ingana jud ang mindset nga gihatag sa mga babae kani adto ba. Karon lahi na because kung eskwela lang ka, maningkamot ka, makapot gyud ani mo imong mga pangalan sa kinabuhi. Lahi na ba?
It's not anymore getting married.
It's not getting married.
Because before mas siguro attorney yung good, ang mga babae, we're not given much of a choice.
Right.
Maminyo ka, you stay at home.
Yes.
But now women are more career driven.
Yes.
Mauna siya ang sa factors kanang di na gid kayo ta nagdali na ninyo.
Yes.
Diba?
Precious.
Siya, duha ka dalagang ulay sa pamilya, diba? so growing up, kita ko nila, mau yun ang conception, balita na siya kay, you know, someone else.
Maot
When,
na
you know,
siya.
and I grew up in a household with them.
Oo,
So I get first-hand experience.
Right.
Dili man lain ang batasan, dili man balita na wala sa lugar, di ba? Yan naman, balita, ay, nasturya kay dalagang ulay. Pero, and that was the time. And that's like, what, 10 years ago only? I was in college, I was in high school. Mao na mo madunggan. And now, you look at women, it's like, ay, okay na siya. Lawyer na siya. So,
Yeah.
wala na ang bana, what? Bana mo?
Yeah.
So I think, pero for me, it's to each his own. Some women are born to be in relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's fine.
As long as that's your
happy
choice,
ka,
and that's fine.
right?
Yeah.
If wala kayo relationship, that's also fine because it's also your decision. And lagi right now, dili na ingana ang misconception anymore. Dalagang ulay na siya. And in Ilonggo, because I'm in Ilonggo, we have a term for it, laon. Laon.
What does it mean?
Baon na, dalagang ulay.
Ah,
Di ba,
okay.
we're
Ours is
sakit
ulay
siya.
man.
Oo, ulay.
Okay.
Sama kay
Dagang
laon.
ulay. Laon.
Sakit kayo. Laon na siya. Pero karon kay, wala na siya uyab. Pero na siya MBA. Okay. Okay na siya. And with technology, right? So if you want to have kids, but you're not ready to look for a partner yet, and you're not ready to get tied down.
Yes,
there are a lot
speaking of
things
which,
you
diba,
can
it's
do.
also acceptable nowadays to have kids without a partner.
Without a partner.
Yes.
Thank you, science.
Salamat.
Absolutely. Okay, now magbuboy ka na lagi ang mga stereotypes, mga traditionalist way of thinking. Okay, you are highly successful women. Who do you look up to? Who are your idols? If I may ask. Not necessarily in your profession, but in general, who do you look up to? Pwede put in your profession, of course.
There's an actress, Jamila Jamil. She stars in The Good Place. Actually, if you're familiar.
Yes.
And she's Tahani in The Good Place, and she calls out celebrities who endorses any of those fitness products. You know how the Kardashians are like, oh, I got my body drinking this something detox
Okay.
tea. So it puts you in a sign, okay, I drink the tea and I look like that. But it doesn't work that way because these celebrities have personal trainers, dietitians, some of them have surgery. So women are put in a certain way now, okay, you'll only look beautiful if you look like this, and for you to look like this, you have to drink this tea. And you get frustrated when you don't get the same results. So what she does is like publicly calls out. Like, hi Chloe, I need you to admit that you have a personal trainer, that you're doing surgery. And she does things like that, and she doesn't allow her photos to be airbrushed. And if ever it would get airbrushed, she'd own up to it. Like, I did not allow for my shoulder to look this thin. Because aside from all the misconceptions, we're all put at this standard na you have to look a certain way to be able to look pretty and to look desirable. So,
Particularly in show business.
and for her to be that big of a star and to call out bigger stars, so parang I feel like, oh, I really like this woman. And of course, Gang Badoy, founder of Rock Ed Philippines. I met her when I was in college, and when she explained how you have to make volunteering cool by applying rock education to volunteering, because usually when you look at volunteering, it's like older people. So it was her who really pioneered that I'll invite rock artists to encourage everyone to do volunteerism. And of course, she's a woman, and you see her going around the country and doing all of these things for everybody, and using her own capacity lang. Hi friends, I like to call all of you to help out. It really inspires you, but this is how you're supposed to use social media. So those two women are really inspiring for me.
Attorney, aside from your mom and grandmother.
Number one and two, but I would say that would be the late would-be president Miriam Defensor Santiago. I always remember her saying success or your leadership skills is not actually measured by your gender, whether you be a woman or a man. It actually depends on your set of abilities and your skills. Yeah. And iya gyud nang di pa matun-an kay diba in the Senate,
That's
kita
right.
nimo unsa siya ka tough, unsa siya ka fierce. So usa siya sa siya gyud ako ang look up to. And
The president we never had.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Sadly.
No.
Yeah, I also have two. One is still alive, the other one is now resting. Of course, the one who's alive, Dr. Miriam Pue. She's in the field of psychology and currently the chairman of the PRC Psychology Regulatory Board. She works day and night, and aside from teaching, mentoring, she also works with women and children and all types of people in the society. And I admire her courage. I admire her energy to do all these advocacies. And despite how highly regarded person she is, she still remains so humble. And when you talk to her, it's as if she's just an ordinary person. So I admire that kind of person who has all this, siguro may yung kag mga patches in her and all the Laura and so on, but still is very much grounded and has no air and doesn't really boast to people that, I'm this and like I'm that and you have to treat me like this and like that. Ikaw na lang ang maikaw sa kadaghan niyang recognition, sa kadaghan niyang awards, but then again, she remains so humble. So I really admire her so much and I would want to follow that path of remain grounded no matter how much achievement you have in life. And the other one would be Sister Merced. I made mention of her. She used to be the directress of St. Teresa's College, and her compassion is so great that no matter how sinful you are, we are all sinful, but she can really accept you for who you are and would never judge you. And this kind of a person treating another person, that no matter how sinful you are, will actually encourage you to do good instead of these people judging you and then wanting to really put you out. I admire her compassion. That's why these two really are my, the icon that's there that I always look up to and would really want to follow the path. Yeah.
Precious?
Moto. Si Gang and
Si Gal and si Ella. Okay, what do you think, as a woman, what do you think makes you effective in what you do?
As a woman.
Yes, yes. I know there are arguments now. It should not be an argument between a man and a woman. It should be skills-based. But as far as you are concerned, as a woman heading your organizations and in your profession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said it already. Gender should not be an issue. That whatever it is that I possess, my qualities can also be possessed by a man. But then again, there are also some qualities which are actually, they don't really possess, like the patience, in small details, the tolerance, and all this mag-agwanta. Men really don't have that patience. I think, They would say, especially the doing the documents and all, they will just pass that on to women and so on. So what are the qualities that I do have? Maybe my passion, my perseverance, and determination, which again can also be possessed by men.
But I would have to agree on the nitty-gritty. So the small stuff. Precious.
We're empathetic. We try to understand our team. Well, because I do marketing, our market, you understand, you listen, and you put yourself in their shoes to be able to understand them better and to know how to be able to act at certain situations. So, parang something, I feel like that's something that's really innate with women. And Chuck's our intuition. Really good. Really good. I recently discussed it with someone because the Bachelor just ended, right? With The Bachelor, the first person that they give the rose to, it's not usually the one they end up with. But if you watch The Bachelorette, all the guys who are given the first rose usually end up as the winner. So that's the women's intuition.
Okay.
Out of 20
There should be a
men.
case there.
20 men. I picked that one and then you actually end up with that guy. So grabbing yun of women's intuition.
Okay.
Even at the workplace.
Okay. Is that really intuition? Just the devil's advocate argument. Is that really intuition? Or is it because you made a choice and then you just stick to it? Maybe women can be stubborn at times.
Stubborn and we actually know what we want. We're gonna fight to death to be able to get it.
Not really.
I think it's a combination of their answers. It's effective communication and our emotional intelligence. Effective communication in a way na we are willing to listen more. Naisulti, in my case, my clients, kanang kliyente kayo mo, ikaw sa doc, diba, your clients, they're really fond of really telling you everything. Nagsukad na siya sa day one, hangtod na, naambot siya sa inyong opisina. Nga na, and ang kaning babae is really more patient na maminaw. That's effective communication. You don't only talk, you also listen, diba? And with respect sa emotional intelligences, we're more effective. Kaya mas makasabot ta, makadetect ta kung siya dili more heartbroken man siya or wala siya nalipay sa trabaho. So, ang lalaki would, no offense man,
Yeah, no.
I think they will just ignore
This is your
these
man.
things.
That's the best.
That's the best part. We get to, kick those men. But kaning mga, ang men would just ignore these things, mga tiny little things na kitang mga kababayan ang dalit kang makabantay. Diba? So I think one of mga,
Is it
my
part of
effective
your
characteristics.
nurturing nature or gift?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's innate in every woman.
Okay, Doc, statistically speaking, because well, Archie mentioned you both do a lot of listening in your professions. Statistically speaking, in psychology, mas daghan ba ang women na psychologists?
Mas daghan ang women psychologists. Yeah, mas daghan.
But in your case, mas daghan ba yung
Mas ganyan pa ng
male lawyers, no? Okay, you are essential leaders in your organizations. How do you define leadership? Because you've been your movers, you lead your groups.
Very simple. Leadership is when you have following. If you don't have any following, you won't really be called as a leader. And then I asked that simple question of, that's the only requirement to become a leader, is that you have following, people follow you, feel people support you and so on. And then I said, what if what I'm advocating on is something that is bad? And then they said, it doesn't matter. Because when you speak of leadership, the only requirement is that people really follow you, support you, and believe in you. So yes, for me that's
Regardless of your cause.
regardless of the cause.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because
Okay.
we're just talking about leadership.
Mm.
Leadership has a following. Otherwise,
It can be blind following also. Precious.
For me, my definition of leadership is parang how I also grew up at the FINMA Education Network. So for me, it's really empowering your team. So whenever you're not around, they can decide on their own. They can do things on their own. So you don't keep all the knowledge and the skills to yourself. You impart it to them. And when I say I can be a successful leader, is that if I can do it on my own or if they can replace me. So that's the time I can say, okay, I'm a successful leader.
Attorney,
For
you're
me-
the assistant dean of the College of
Yeah,
Law.
yes. As assistant dean, you have goals, you have objectives to achieve in the college, and I think being a leader, you have to have vision, and that vision, we have to inspire the people around you to actually adopt or at least embrace your vision. Okay, the moment ilan nang ma-embrace, tabangan ka nila to achieve your goal na mo naging mo ang i-create na vision. So I think that's one of the characters or one of the definitions of many definitions of leadership. Leadership is having a vision and able to inspire these people to really adopt and embrace that vision.
Did leadership come to you as a conscious choice? In other words, for example, when you decided to open Kauban, was it a conscious choice? I want to lead this group.
Not
This is
really.
what I want. Yeah.
No, not really. When I started the support group means to say to support each other. And when we do the session, we are actually seated in a circle, so everybody's equal. Okay, it's just so happened that somebody has to lead. Somebody has to be the point person to coordinate whatever the need is. So I really did not plan to become a leader of this and so on.
Precious, in your case, you were a student leader in college. In high school, you were also. Yeah. So how was it? Was it a conscious decision on your part?
No way. But I had a lot of ideas. And for me to be able to push with my ideas, I had to be at a certain position to be able to It's para
them.
to
Okay.
implement and to tell other people that, okay, this is my idea. You need to be at a certain platform for them to listen to you. So it was not something like, oh, I'm gonna be a leader because I want to do things like this. It's just that, what do I need to do to be able to implement my ideas? So, parang all of a sudden, parang you were told, and people see it around you. It was not, you know, in school, it's not really like, oh, I'm gonna run as president. It's not something like that Sometimes there's a little pushing,
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be good for this position. Even in group works, right? Ikaw rin ang lead, maayo ka ani. So it was not something that, mudagan ko,
Yeah.
it was really like, I think bagay ka rin na position because you
Yeah.
have this vision also. So it was something like that for me. Hindi siya ningo na, maing-ani ko. But it was parang also, parang something very natural because I had a lot of things to share.
Turner.
It wasn't really a conscious decision. Kaya, ang ako rin ganahan sa law school is, I just want to teach. I want to teach the law. I want to really educate the
Okay,
law
medyo
students.
lapad-lapad man sa administrative work.
And especially yung, I don't know, murag bata ko man go for this position. Can I do this? But, gitawag sa panahon. And, para sa iya, it required a lot of pushing. Kaya nga naman ko at first, dili man ako makaya because I'm practicing as a lawyer. And can I do admin works at the same time? Pero, nalagi daghan mo push ni mo, motivate ni mo, kaya lagi na mo. And magka-things like, I can do this. So, moto, I accepted it. So, it's not really nga yung mo dyan plano.
So
Kita mo lang.
we're not politicians.
That's true.
We did not plan.
Okay, we discussed initially earlier the challenges that women still continue to face. What do you think we need to do more today? If there are challenges that women are still facing, what do you think are these? As far as establishing your place in the society is concerned, or should that even be an issue?
I really found it hard to answer because I'm not seeing any issue regarding it. I don't know with the other two women.
Yeah, parity, for example. Do you think we need more female leaders in politics, for example? Do you think we need more female teachers or administrators in education? Do you think we need more lady lawyers?
Because we have that. I don't know. Yeah. For me, I really cannot see anything that. For me, it's okay. Whatever we have now, it's okay.
Yes. I read a news article. Locally, I think okay naman ang parity between men and women. Like, there was actually a survey na almost 50% of the leaders are actually women na nasa business, nasa politics, nasa admin, and all that. So tanaw ko, di kay worst ang country with respect anong discrimination ba sa babae o sa lalaki. Pero globally, makita rin
Yes.
Pero I think based ako, I'm okay.
Perhaps we're one of the luckier countries.
We're
Maybe
even number
because
one.
Precious is here.
Right.
Yes, go
Lucky
ahead,
dyan.
Precious.
Yeah, but I think it starts at home. Just have an open conversation with the women in your life, or for younger girls. Na parang you can do whatever you want to do, whatever that may be. Parang, and even with men, I feel like it's kind of unfair for men. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to do this.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to be emotional.
yeah.
Like, parang,
Yes, right.
oo.
Maybe Joburg, you can have a different set of answers if different set of women also are
Yes.
to answer that. No,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
different setting.
Right.
I think
Different
so.
realities also.
Yeah.
Very lucky women.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you essentially answered my next question. That became intuition. Okay, how can we encourage, particularly the young girls, to speak their minds, to be able to achieve your successes?
Okay, it's like our parting words to the
Can
community.
be, yeah, and alongside that, you can also include your hopes for the women of Cebu and the Philippines.
Okay. Women of today, especially our teenagers, are quite not as expressive as we are. They still have this thinking of pleasing men for the sake of maybe partnership and so on. But I would advise you to please be self-aware and know your place in the society. There's no such thing as limiting yourself because of the issue of gender. And let me address also the women of Cebu. So please continue to be empowered and yet compassionate, tough and yet kind, and fierce and yet considerate. Because within you lies the ability to create, to nurture, and to transform.
Very nice. Precious.
Probably female legislators. I think we still need the anti-catcalling law in Cebu.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there is.
This is our
There's a national,
right?
There's a national law, but I think it should be strictly implemented.
Okay.
For women, read and be educated. I think a lot of women are in position where they are not able to defend themselves is because they don't have any other choice. So I
they're
think
not equipped.
they're not
to do
equipped.
so.
So I think still in line gihapon if we're all educated, if we all know these things. We know that the opportunities are endless and we don't have to be tied to just one thing. And we'll be able to grow and to really pursue what we want to pursue.
You can be different things.
Yes.
Ako is just to believe in yourself. Because if you do not believe in yourself, nobody else will. So, kita rin, magsugod na sa ato. So, I think that's my take.
Okay, attorney, I have a question because, well, we hear that often. Believe in yourself. How can you do that if your situation or circumstances do not provide you the avenue to actually believe in yourself? If people around you, maybe Doc can also help answer, if people around you, for example, question you all the time, every day, how can you retain that belief in yourself?
Well, you see that easy therapy. Yeah, but I always tell people, especially those who have limited self-belief, that they really cannot control people from the outside, and that the only person they can control is themselves. So regardless of what other people regard them, however they are regarded by other people, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how they regard themselves. So it takes a lot of mind shifting, the paradigm shift before a person can really achieve that self-belief. Yeah. So you just have to continuously guide the person.
Sa ako asan, kay naanad ko na I self-motivate.
Right.
Okay.
Dili mo ma-achieve because sa imong environment or sa imong situation. I find solutions na makakita ko, ma-motivate sa ko balik sa read writing, yung libro nga mga inspiring yung mga babae nga nabuhat ni nila bisag-bisag kaayo lang kinabuhi. So I self-motivate mo anong isa sa mga things na I do.
Precious, you have some thoughts?
No, my mom pushes me to do things on my own all the time. So whenever I need something, you need to enroll yourself. You need to ask questions to someone, go there yourself. So I was not babied in a way.
Okay.
So in a way that built my confidence. But it's the little things first. First, you deposit in the bank on your own, even if you're still so
Palit
little.
suka on your own.
Palit suka, memorize ng kamatis.
That's right.
And you slowly build yourself up. Parang, okay, kaya maganit inako ni sa una, graduate maganit ko college. Ay, naka-report maganit ko in front of all of these people so I can do things also.
That's
So
right.
it's really a staircase, very, very long one. That step by step lang yun ang process for you to really be able to believe in yourself.
Great things come from small beginnings, you
Yes.
say. Okay, we asked our guests in season 1 this question, and I'd like to ask this to you this time also. What's your message to the men watching us right now?
Watch out.
What's your message? Can we begin with you, Doc?
Oh my God, that's so hard. What's my message to all men out there? It's not a matter of gender. We need each other. What we have, there are things that you have that we don't have. There are things that we have that you also don't have. So it's not a matter of competition because we supplement each other. Yeah.
Tama, no competition.
No competition.
We're only competing with ourselves here. So no need to be intimidated. We're here to help each other. So I think more na we're okay, powerful women are here. We cannot, di namin pwede motigog. It doesn't work that way. We actually need your help. You also need ours. So all you need to do is just work together again.
Yes.
Attorney.
Ako, I just want to thank the men a class of men kay tungod nila we work harder and tungod sa nila we are here kay naimata na makaya nailang ganang nabuhat so makaya sa nato. So I just want to thank you guys.
To the male lawyers.
To the male lawyers, yes, especially kay they actually ako ang sa ako on side is my sponsor as a young lawyer was actually a male. See, my professor back in law school actually taught me how to, cross-examine, conduct a direct examination. So, thankful dito sa men sa akong na-meet.
The mentorship.
Yeah, the mentorship. They weren't really discriminatory sa ako, sa babae ko. Just thank you.
Thank you, ladies. This has been fun. Doc Cheryl,
Yes.
Precious, and Darling.
Darchi?
Darchi. Yeah. For Nana, Miss Darchi.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us today in our pilot episode, and we hope that our conversation today is able to inspire, particularly the young girls, to believe in themselves,
Yes.
and most especially to believe that we are all equal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to all of you, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm Jobert Octal, the online editor of The Freeman, and thank you for joining us in paying tribute to women who are not afraid to make a difference. This is Power Women Season 2. See you again tomorrow.